The most expensive relationship in your life might not be your partner. It might be your social group. The average American spends $3,000 a year on socially driven purchases they did not want, for experiences they did not fully enjoy, to maintain a status in a group they are not entirely sure values them for who they are. That is $3,000 a year in social compliance. And almost nobody talks about it because the guilt of saying no feels more expensive than the cost of saying yes. Welcome back to Money Mind Dojo. This is episode 7 of the Psychology of Invisible Traps. If you missed episode 6 on the YOLO spending illusion, the link is in the description. Each episode builds on the last. Let us continue. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. But what I am about to describe could free you from one of the most socially invisible and financially costly traps in modern life. Research from the American Psychological Association found that 39% of Americans have gone into debt to keep up with the social spending expectations of their peer group. Group vacations, weddings, bachelor parties, expensive restaurants, birthday dinners, gift giving. That is 4 in 10 people financing social obligation. And the underlying driver is not generosity. It is fear. Fear of exclusion. Fear of judgment. Fear that saying no means you are left behind. Social spending is not driven by desire. It is driven by guilt, and guilt is one of the most precisely targeted tools in the social psychology of money. Here is how the guilt economy works. You belong to a social group. That group creates events, dinners, trips, celebrations. Participation in these events becomes the de facto measure of loyalty, affection, and belonging. Opting out signals disinterest, or worse, judgment of the group's choices. The social cost of saying no appears to be higher than the financial cost of saying yes. So you say yes. Robert Cialdini, in his landmark work Influence, identifies social proof and commitment as 2 of the most powerful forces in human decision-making. When your entire group is going on a trip, staying behind feels like a deviation from the norm, which the brain reads as a social threat. You are not just opting out of a vacation. Your brain registers it as potential exclusion from the tribe. This is evolutionary. For 100,000 years, exclusion from the group was a survival threat. The brain has not caught up with the fact that in 2026, the group will still be there on Monday, and the numbers compound quickly. Consider a single year. 1 destination bachelorette, $800. 1 group trip, $1,200. 2 expensive group dinners, $300. 3 birthday obligations, $200. Annual total, $2,500 in social spending. Most of it driven not by joy, but by the perceived cost of saying no. Here is what makes the social spending guilt trip uniquely insidious. Unlike other financial traps, this one is reinforced by people you love. The research on social spending shows something counterintuitive. In most cases, the people in the group remember the event for far less time and at far less intensity than the person who paid to attend. The guest of honor at the bachelorette party will not remember which of the 10 attendees paid the most or sacrificed the most to be there. They will remember the energy of the night. The person who strained their finances to attend will remember the credit card statement. A Stanford study on gift giving found that gift givers consistently overestimate how much the recipient cares about the cost of the gift. Receivers care about the thought and the relationship. Givers agonize over price. 47% of Americans say they have spent more on gifts than they could afford because they feared appearing cheap, not because the recipient expected it. The person you feared disappointing by giving a smaller gift almost certainly would have preferred a smaller, heartfelt gesture to the knowledge that you strained your finances for them. The social spending guilt trip can only trap you if you believe the alternative is silence or absence. It is not. There is a framework that consistently works. Communicate, contribute differently, and do not disappear. If you cannot attend the group trip, Say so early, warmly, and sincerely. Offer to celebrate with the people who matter in a way you can afford. Your real friends, the ones whose relationships are worth the investment, will not value you less, and the ones who do will have revealed something important. Research from Brigham Young University on social relationships and financial health found something striking. People with strong social connections who spent less on social performance reported higher relationship satisfaction than those who spent more. The connection is what matters. The performance of the connection drains both parties. For gift-giving specifically, research consistently shows that experiences shared together, handwritten notes, or small personalized gestures create deeper long-term memories than expensive impersonal gifts. The goal of a gift is to be remembered, not to signal your budget. You did not earn your wealth, or the path toward it, to spend it proving your membership in groups that should already know you belong. Saying no to what you cannot afford is not a betrayal of your relationships. It is a protection of them. Because the version of you that is financially secure, unburdened, and building towards something, that version of you has far more to give the people you love than the one going into debt to keep up. In the next episode, Episode 8, we expose lifestyle creep and the 50s danger zone. Every raise you have ever received may have made you poorer. You do not want to miss it. Hit subscribe so you do not miss a single episode. Like this video if this gave you permission to say no without guilt, and share it with someone who needs to hear this right before they book a group trip. This is Money Mind Dojo. Train your mind. Build your wealth.